All right, so we should go and start.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Or you can like wait for 2 minutes if more people want to like join in that period of time.
We can wait a little bit, yeah. Let everybody in.
Wait, I think it's not now.
All right, cool. So our presentations on some of the key components to making a great impact story. So we're going to cover kind of how to design, create, and present your story for impact. This is kind of a lot of our personal experiences, kind of our process, our thought process, and what we go through throughout the year. So my name's FRC. I'm the executive director. Formerly, I was the chief strategist, but I still am part of the senior strategy team. In my free time, I enjoy mountain biking. I enjoy pickleball. Additionally, I've been part of every department on our team. So I have a very broad experience on our team. I know a lot about our team. And then a little fun fact, I'm accurate with the bow at 50 yards.
Hi, I'm Stella Yao. I am the outreach director for the Walton Robotics team this year. And a fun fact, last year I was actually our season impact presenter for our team. And we actually managed to win at district competition and at the state level competition, which we were really fortunate and grateful to be able to have done that. Some other stuff, I have been on the presentation and business team on our team for all 3 years that I've been on the team. So I've been working with presentation and business for a really long time now. Fun fact, I do a lot of art in my free time when I'm not doing outreach on our team.
So I have to adjust the screen back a little bit. We got a little bit of height difference going on, but these are some things about our team. We actually just took this team photo a couple days ago, so very new. And then obviously we've got our robot, a little bit about our Can Crusher and kind of what we're about, and then some of the awards that we won last year. Here at Walton Robotics, our mission is to help students develop personal and professional skills, inspire students to pursue STEM careers in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and promote STEM as rewarding, and a pathway to a brighter future. So this kind of thought process is what dictates a lot of what we do throughout the year. And looking back to this mission is one of the ways that we kind of analyze if what we're doing is making an impact. A little bit of fun facts about our teams. This is our 17th anniversary this year. We've been to Worlds the past 12 years in a row. And then we've just won Impact for our third time at States. Quick outline. A lot of this is kind of always changing on the team, especially with how kind of impact changes. A lot of things kind of come and go as you're going through the season. So being able to kind of look through these processes and seeing how they develop throughout the year is one of the ways that we look at our impact story. So we're going to cover how we're going to define our goals, how we define our year, how we're making progress towards an impact, how we're making progress towards creating an impact in our community. Additionally, how we're aligning with the FIRST vision and values, how we're tracking our impact, how we're creating our impact story, and then how we're making that impact story year round. So defining our year starts with our executive retreat. We kind of retreat to the woods with our executive team. We plan out the year. We do a lot of high level thinking, kind of thinking about what our year's going to look like, what we did previously, what we want to do in the future. So in that sense, our story never stops. I think it was just this past year after school ended. I think it was the day after school ended. I was back at the school working on robotics, meeting new people. So your story is always changing. It's always morphing around you. It kind of defines who you are. Um, Additionally, when looking at the year, kind of look what you already have. If you're a rookie team, if you're a veteran team, kind of looking what you've done already, who you have on your team, what they've done, any of your programs, resources, collecting that, saying, hey, I think this went really well. I think we should look into ways of improving upon that. That's one of the things that we start off with do. Additionally, that kind of keys in with making an impact on your team, on your community, on FIRST as a whole. So on your team, especially for here at Walton, this year we've got 16 rookies, which is I think the most that we've ever had. So we're making an impact on a lot of people this year. We're introducing a lot of people to FRC and to the FIRST community, a lot of really bright minds. So kind of teaching them, growing them, and teaching them FIRST values. Additionally, on our community, so that can be reaching out to local sponsors, restaurants, events. We go to a lot of football games. We go to a lot of elementary and middle schools, teaching them about FIRST, about robotics, about STEM, and then on FIRST as a whole. Additionally, sometimes you have to look back and reflect on things that you might need to redefine yourself. So saying, what should we change? Or saying, something that we really thought was going to be a home run this year wasn't. And looking back, seeing, why that wasn't, how you can change that, how you can reflect. And you use that to keep building. And some of those things you want to look is key projects. So here at Walton, one of our key projects, it's our oldest project, is destination engineering, where we provide a competition field to local teams in our area. So those sort of projects, traditions, partnerships, you build those throughout the year and throughout your FRC experiences. So making sure that you're continuing to build those and look how you can grow on those. Additionally, looking who can help us. One of our greatest allies and one of our greatest teachings is our coaches and mentors. We're lucky to have some super great mentors, and here at Walton, we're student-led, mentor-guided. So students do everything, but we look to the mentor to say, hey, are we doing this correct? Are we doing this well? And they provide valuable feedback to kind of what our year looks like. Additionally, making progress towards that impact. So this is kind of the first step after you've defined your goals is actually taking an action and contributing to those goals. And one of the first things here is you've previously done your high level impact. Or high level thinking. Now you're going to kind of specify it more. What programs, what goals do you want to set for the year? And sometimes you can say, hey, I want to do an event every night here at our school, something along those lines. So avoiding going too broad, understanding, what are your boundaries? Previously, we've had a lot of things that kind of like, hey, we're going to do all these things, but realize that, we're already kind of spread thin and we're going to step back. We're going to say, hey, we've got a list of 3-4 really great programs. We're gonna focus on those. We're gonna put our effort into those instead of trying to spread ourselves super thin. And then organizing, assigning clear tasks and ownership to team members. This is a great opportunity for leadership opportunities, developing new programs, seeing creativity from people that you haven't seen before, but also building accountability with check-ins and deadlines. So sometimes you give an assignment, sometimes it's you have great ambition and realizing that maybe progress isn't being made towards that, something along those lines. So building that sort of accountability, making sure that everything's going well. Additionally, connecting and collaborating. So one of your greatest resources is actually everybody else. Part of FIRST is growing STEM throughout our community. And one of the ways we do that is collaborating with schools. We collaborate with companies. Shown here is just this past week we went presented at Novellus, who's been a longtime sponsor, and showing them what we're about, showing them how they've created impact on us, and then working with them to further STEM, further impact that we create. Additionally, sharing and growing outreach events, hosting them, whether it be demo days, workshops, school visits, getting into your community, setting up those programs, building those, and also attending other teams. I mean, the opportunity to get invited by another team is pretty spectacular, and being able to collaborate with them. It's great visibility for your team, for your impact. And then also reflecting and adjusting. So tracking that progress, checking, polling, that sort of thing, and saying, hey, what's working, what isn't working, and being able to change that throughout the year. And that's kind of where it's, you're analyzing, you're always looking back, saying, hey, we set these really big, broad goals, and how we're going to always continue to develop and change those. Additionally, celebrating wins. Sometimes you have a really good event, and being able to highlight people that are doing well in your community. One thing that we have here new is our horse award. It represents people who develop and show the key values that we believe in here at Walton Robotics, and being able to hand that to a kid that we've seen kind of promote those core values is something really special.
So, aligning with FIRST vision and values. So, living Dean Kamen's vision. His vision is to inspire students to pursue innovation, STEM, and leadership every season. Our team highly encourages all the people that are listening right now to go look at the video and see what he talks about more in detail. Strengthening the engineering pipeline. So, a really big thing about strengthening the engineering pipeline is a term called cradle to grave. So, it's really about supporting students when they're really young and making sure that they really enjoy what they're doing, enjoy robotics and STEM, and that we're encouraging them to continue STEM and robotics as they continue to grow up and pursue careers. So supporting FLL, FTC, and FRC at all different parts of the pipeline. Consistent community engagement. So one really big thing for us is that we always want to make sure that throughout the year, we're always making sure to engage with our community. We do this through things like yearly speeches, school visits, STEM nights, and demos to keep FIRST visible beyond competitions. So for example, as Aubrey said earlier, in the summer, we continue to do stuff for our community. Our team hosts summer camps every summer to make sure that students that are in elementary school and middle school are engaged in robotics and STEM, even when they're not in school. We build up the FIRST community. We mentor rookie teams, we share resources, and we host and attend workshops that help all teams grow. A really big thing for us is that we want to make sure that everyone has an even playing field. So by mentoring rookie teams that don't have as much experience as veteran teams, we're really sharing the knowledge and we're spreading the knowledge throughout the entire FIRST community. We really want to get people in our FIRST community that don't have as much access to knowledge as we do. We want to really help them out. So for example, our team this year has started a rural initiative. So this year we are helping out a team in a rural area in FTC, and we're mentoring them since they're a rookie team. And we're really sharing our resources and we're sharing what we learned throughout the years as a team. We collaborate at events. So at every event, we make sure to offer help in the pits. We ask for support when needed. And we also model gracious professionalism for others. So gracious professionalism is really about helping out other teams and other people. And even though you guys are competing against each other in competitions, we still want to make sure that we are respectful to everyone. And we really don't want to sabotage or bring down any other teams. We really want to help other teams grow, and we want everyone to thrive together as a community. Tracking that impact. So for our team, a really big thing about our impact speech is data. So throughout the entire year, we're collecting numbers, photos, and stories to show how much our team impacts our community. We make sure to document everything. We track attendance, we track how much outreach hours that everyone has, and we make sure to track the things that we can do better next time at each event. We capture visuals, so that's stuff like photos and videos of each event. We capture demos, and we also capture the student engagement that we have created. So one big thing for us is that we have a communication and public relations director. So his job this year is to really capture everything that we do at all our outreach events. So he makes sure to take photos and videos at each event, and he posts them online on our social media so our community gets to see that what we're doing throughout the year. We reach out to our alumni and we collect data and anecdotes. A really big thing for us is that we're making sure that our alumni are continuing to spread FIRST throughout our community, and we want to make sure that everyone on our team has been impacted by our team as a whole. So a lot of our alumni are in STEM and robotics fields now, and it's really shown how much of an impact we've made on students. We collect feedback from other teams throughout the year. So for other teams, for example, at our destination engineering program, we collect feedback from them and we ask them, how did we help you? So when they come to our fields and they get to use our practice field, we ask them, how did we help you? What did it make as an impact? And then also we ask judges what stood out and where can we improve. So for example, our rule initiative, we really wouldn't have known what to do, but judges really let us know that they wanted us to create a rule initiative this year. And that's really a big thing that we did to collect feedback. And we took that feedback and we created a story ourselves. We use surveys, so at all outreach events, we'll make sure to ask attendees what went well, what didn't go well, what can we improve next time. And on our team, we want to make sure that our students think that we're doing the right things as well. So we also ask them, what can we do better next time? We make sure to grow over time. We create our impact story. So when we create our impact story, the first thing is you want to collect our materials. So you collect materials through data, visuals, and experiences and voices. So those are all the data things that we collected throughout the year. It's a really big thing that we're connecting our story through our materials, and we have something to prove that we've done throughout the year. We find our theme. It's always one big idea that ties everything together. So for example, last year, our team's theme was pirates. And since the game theme last year was water, we really wanted to do something that connected to the water theme. So we thought pirates. That's a really big thing that we think will be cool, and we'll make sure to incorporate that into our story. So the next step is to organize the story. We really want to organize our group achievements, show how they connect to the theme. It's really about connecting the materials that you gathered throughout the year and connecting them with the theme. So for example, our theme was pirate theme, and we made sure to incorporate really cool and funny pirate puns throughout our entire impact speech to make it a bit more memorable. And that's a really big thing, making it memorable. You want to embellish your achievements and create intriguing and memorable moments throughout your storytelling. For us, we really wanted to do something that showed an impact story, so we made sure to make it kind of like a storyline of what we've done throughout the year. We show and we don't just tell. We use the data that we've collected throughout the year to prove that we've done stuff throughout the year, and we're not just making it up. So it's really about showing it through your data, your visuals, and your experiences, as stated earlier. We own our own story. We're telling you what we did to create an impact story, but these are all just tips and tricks. It's really not about creating a specific type of speech. It's your story. It won't apply to every other team. It's really about making sure that your story is told with authenticity and pride.
All right, so once you've created that story, once you put it together, the hardest part is actually presenting it. And obviously you've got your resources, you've got your data, but that hardest part is memorizing the script and presenting it to a panel of judges. Simply put here, practice makes perfect. I'm sure you've heard it before, but rehearsing that speech and knowing it from the beginning to the end thoroughly, the more practice that you can get, all of the practice that you can get, it's going to make your impact story just that much greater. Because you already know that you've created a good story. You've done such an impact on your community throughout the year. So being able to put justice to that, being able to present that, that's kind of your key process now. Part of that is putting together your presenters, putting together your panel. So getting to know your fellow presenters, understanding what are their key strengths, key weaknesses, excuse me, and understanding how that contributes to your story. So, for example, I'm going to pick on Stella a little bit. Our presentation styles are a little bit different. She's a little bit better at a rehearsed script. I'm kind of more in the go with the flow sort of thing. So those are our strengths. That's how we work together, how we present. And part of that is understanding how we're going to present this presentation, actually, looking through and saying, hey, these are certain things that I can talk to better. I can present this better, and understanding how that's going to work with the flow of our presentation. Additionally, seeking discomfort, presenting in places that you wouldn't really expect in front of people that you either don't know, maybe you know really well. It's one thing. It's easy to be in your room, memorizing a script, presenting to yourself. But it's another thing to go out and present in front of other things. I'm going to pick on Stella again. She likes to present to a wall. That's her thing. She'll put like a photo of somebody on a wall and she'll present to that. But it works for her. That's one of her ways of communicating and building that skill. So being able to find that atmosphere, finding that discomfort, that's one way that you can grow. Additionally, just don't be afraid to practice in front of others. One thing that we like to do here is every day before we present to judges, we get up, the presentation team gets up in front of the entire team. They give the entire presentation. That's one of the ways that we grow. Even if sometimes we mess up, sometimes we feel embarrassed, being able to kind of get back up and continue in through that is one of the ways that we have built the skills to present very well. Additionally, using feedback, so incorporating mentor, peer, and judge input will help you iterate your story. It'll help you strengthen your story. Like Stella mentioned earlier, some of the best feedback that we've gotten is from judges, and being able to put that into our next presentation, it shows our growth, it shows how we're developing, but it also it lends us in perspective and guidance on how we should progress, how we should move forward. Next part is making your impact year round. It's one thing to start a new initiative, to start something great, but it only to last 1 year. I know previously we've had programs that have been started by a person super ambitious. They go super great, and then the next year, say they're a senior, they leave. There's no one to carry on their knowledge, carry on that sort of thing. So beginning to track that outreach, that's where your data comes in key. So besides presenting it, you also say, hey, that person left, but all of their knowledge, all of their data is here. We can work with that. We can work to develop, build that, and create something that originally was maybe a small program into something that's greater. And again, that's where your surveys, photos, data, you're measuring that impact, and then you can build on that data throughout the year or years to come. So being able to say, hey, over the past year, we've had the growth of girls on our team by 14%. Or something along those lines, proving one of the ways that we like to prove it is our alumni. Over 70% of our alumni have gone on to pursue STEM careers. So that's pretty impressive. Additionally, building those traditions, building best practices. Here at Walton, we build ourselves on a pretty big list of expectations, but we practice those expectations constantly. We say, hey, these are our first key values. These are our key values. This is how we're working together. And this is what we're going to do to practice these key values. And part of that is how we make an impact in our STEM nights, our demos, our workshops, our community outreach. So being that it's, we're not just the individual who's excelling, we're the team, we're the sea of blue that's excelling. So it also helps with continuity, it helps with visibility for your team. And FIRST really likes to see that you're making that lasting and continued impact. Additionally, being able to pass the torch. So training underclassmen, I know that's part of my job as a senior this year is to be able to train the next executive director, make sure that they're prepared, make sure that they have the knowledge that I have, to ensure that it stays, it grows, and you're building your team as you go. My 4 years have been great. I've seen incredible growth on our team, and I'm excited for the next 4 years, for the rookies next year, and the knowledge that I have that eventually will get passed down to them. Additionally, keeping your community engaged, so sharing updates, newsletters, social media highlights. This is something that we're on the newer end too, but it's really exciting when you say get a reel with 100,000 views and you're saying, hey, this is something that's pretty cool that we're doing, and people are seeing our impact, seeing what we're doing in STEM. Additionally, maintaining those relationships with schools, partners, sponsors. These are your key values. These are people that you've grown to meet, things that you've done with them, making sure that those are continued and staying, and that's one of the ways that you show growth. Additionally, creating those outreach opportunities in your community, maybe analyzing what didn't work over the previous years, analyzing what did work, improving on those. And this is how you're empowering your students to lead, giving ownership to new products, new people that are on your team, allowing them to show how they are leaders, showing them to grow as leaders. I know as a freshman myself, I would not have been very known for my presenting abilities or my outgoing demeanor. And this is something that I've learned over my years at Walton and through FIRST. These are core values that you're teaching, but part of that is opportunities that I've been given on the team. Part of that is, as I spoke to earlier, I've been on every department on the team. I've gotten to see what leadership in each of the teams look like and what that knowledge passed down to me looks like and be able to practice that. Additionally, your impact is more than just your team. Part of FIRST goal is to promote STEM in our community and being able to see the impact that people that you engaged with, what their impact is now on others is pretty great. Thank you so much for allowing us to present to you. I hope some of these things have kind of helped you with your processes going forward. And then now we've got open for Q&A.
Any questions?
Yeah, they'll come through, I'm sure.
There doesn't look like there's any questions in the chat right now. If anyone has any questions, now would be the time to ask those questions.
Additionally, if you think of a question later, just feel free to reach out to us through socials or our team. Our contact information is there. If you have any questions or anything, we'd be happy to answer them.
Yes, okay, so James would like to ask, when does your team finalize your theme? What month?
So last year we finalized our theme, I would say in February or January. So like right after we chose who was going to present for impact, we decided what our theme was, since that's one of the main things for us, is what our entire presentation revolves around. And then we would create our script from there. So January, February, somewhere around like a month before like competition starts, I would say is the best time to do that.
And then Isaac Smith would like to know, what would you suggest for newer people to FTC?
To FTC, so for newer people that are joining FTC, we really recommend that you guys reach out to veteran teams. It's a really big thing that when you have experienced veterans, they know what went wrong in previous years. They know what didn't go wrong. You can always ask them to mentor you or at least help you out, and always reach out to experienced people in the field to become your like season-long mentors. It's really important for rookies to be given the resources and the access to knowledge that they need to be able to thrive throughout the year.
And then Emily would like to know, how do you guys balance between engineering and media business?
So this is one of the ways that having a larger team has kind of benefited us. Our executive team consists of 9 people, each heading a different department on our team. And every week we meet together, all of the executive members, we contribute, we say, hey, this is what we did this week, this is our future plans. And then we discuss, how does this impact our team? How are we impacting the community? Maybe we need resources somewhere else. Being able to pull from different departments, knowing how they collaborate. One of the things that's great about our department's outreach and presentation is that we kind of work with a lot of people. So what's nice about hers is she can say, hey, we have an outreach event. We're going to be doing some STEM kid activity, or we're going to be building miniature Lego robots or something along those lines. She can say, hey, build programming. Do you have some advice, maybe a presentation, some people that can come help out? So kind of having that supply, having that ability to pull from our different departments is kind of how we manage that.
Okay, and then Vivi would like to know, can you expand on what are the ways we can track our impact? Our team have tracked attendance and volunteering hours, but how can we gain other data that further shows our impact?
So for us, one thing that we started doing this year, since we noticed last year we did have a lack of data and it was really hard for us to go to different places to try to find data. What we did is we started this year I started an impact form. So it's like after every event, I make sure to have someone or have myself fill out the form, and it really should I make sure to track what went well, what went wrong, what could we have done better, how many people showed up, and what did this event do, so that at the end of the first semester when we're starting our impact speech and our script and all that stuff, we have a place to look for when we're tracking our impact. And we also make sure throughout the year that our communications and public relations director keeps a track of photos and videos throughout the year that we can use for our presentation.
Yeah.
And we keep all of this stuff in a Google Drive folder that we have.
Okay. And I think those are all the questions. Does anybody have any more questions? Yeah, I think that's it.
Sweet.
Thank you for presenting.
Thank everybody for being here, listening to us.
Yeah, thank you all for coming and attending this session.
Again, if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out. We'd love to kind of help you if you need anything. We're always open.
You can always reach out to us through our emails or through social media.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye. And I'm going to end webinar.